Alyssa, what is the first question?
Looks good. Hold on, let me go.
I don't have them memorized.
Do you want to write down? Oh no, that's right. It's
What are some
Do you
of
want the
your
paper?
happiest
Yeah, you
childhood
can look
memories?
up. Okay. I'll just-
Anybody want the paper?
okay, so I'll just. Okay, how should I start?
Mom, maybe you can
Maybe I should just be like, okay,
introduce.
introduce. Oh yeah, Mom,
What? Am I the video?
probably.
Let's try to get mad.
She told just walk her.
You should have bought an official, what do you call those things, prompter.
Take two.
Yes. Okay, Mom, what are you doing? For what? Take notes. Okay. I'll just
Take three.
These are my grandparents. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves? Lolo.
Lolo, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
Alex.
And I'm Grandma Donna.
Okay, so what are some of your guys' happiest childhood memories?
Oh, well, that's not one. Let's see. Okay, so I'll go first, I guess. When I was about 5 or 6, my mother was the most creative person that I ever met. And we lived in Baltimore with what they call row houses at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a little backyard and everything was fenced in, and but I think it had a basement. I really can't remember. But anyway, in the backyard, we had what they used to call, I don't know if they still refer to it that way, as a Peter Pan wedding.
Okay.
And so she wrote, Come to My Wedding, a song that Donna's getting married in the morning. And so she did the whole thing. First come the ushers to open up the doors, and they sit the people in the pews. And she had all these like chairs set up so that people from the neighborhood could come to the wedding.
Wow.
And I wore her wedding gown.
How old
Out-
are you?
I think 5 or 6. And yeah, it was a beautiful gown, and she let me drag it in the dirt and everything on the grass. And then my best girlfriend, Marion Ann, she wore a very pretty dress, and yeah, I think it was a light purple dress. And the boy across, we had an alley in between separating their side of the street and our side of the street on two different streets. So the middle was the alley, and so we had this one boy I had a crush on. He was going to be my husband. He was going to be the groom. And then another boy across the street, which I won't describe today. Anyway, he was the minister or the priest.
That's funny.
And so my mom had everything written down for him in what looked like a prayer book, so he could read from that.
Wow.
And she recorded the song of "Come to My Wedding," but she named a lot of my cousins that were dressed in different colors, so it was almost like a rainbow wedding
Wow.
type thing. But we never saw them.
Okay.
We always just sang about it later on. Okay, so yeah, and then my brother is 2 years younger, Bob,
Mm-hmm.
and he had a little fire truck.
Mm-hmm.
So they decorated it with tin cans on the back of it. You know, those little toy fire trucks back then.
Yeah.
And it had a little ladder on the side and everything. Yeah, I remember that.
Wow.
So it was a lot of fun, and yeah, I think that was one of the most fun things that I can remember.
That's fun.
Yeah. Another time I was in the May procession. I was chosen from our parochial school, Immaculate Heart of Mary,
Mm-hmm.
and May is the month of Mary,
Yeah.
and so we had a May procession, and we had a queen, and oh my gosh, she was so pretty, and she had a long gown and a beautiful cape. Everybody had to have their dresses made. So I got to be an attendant to the queen.
Wow.
And yeah, we went to a seamstress and she made my dress. And it was pretty. It was blue and white, little tiny dots on the dress, you know, and
Mhm.
oh my gosh, it was beautiful. And then we wore a crown of real flowers with leaves, some kind, in our hair, and it was such an honor to be chosen for that. So that was
Wow.
another wonderful thing
Yeah.
that happened in my early life. Yeah.
What about you, Lolo?
Well, there was really nothing happy. I was a fifth of 10 children.
Wow.
I had one brother who died just before I was born. I think it was a complication of measles. But there were 9 of us growing up, and we had a ball, you know. And I spent most of my childhood along the neighborhood, you know, playing around, and so it was kind of good. Okay.
And swimming in the river.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when I was young, I started violin lessons, but instead I learned how to swim in the river.
That's
So
fun.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Did you fish then, or did you have fishing pole or no?
Yeah, we fished, but we didn't do that much.
Oh, okay.
Me and my dad used to fish some, but no, I just messed around in my neighborhood, and I took piano lessons, but nothing happened with that either. So
Mhm.
Hey Alex, talk about putting so many people of your brothers and sisters on your bike.
oh yeah, it was my James Dean days. I had my leather jacket that was actually made of plastic, and I had one of my sister's bike. It's a girl's bike, but I used to put five of us used to ride in it. You know, one in the handlebar, and then somebody standing out, and then 2 behind me.
Wow, that's impressive.
That was a lot of crazy time.
And since,
I didn't hurt anybody, so
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah. nobody had a bad spill.
and since you were the first surviving boy,
What did I do? I didn't do anything.
you didn't have boy clothes, so you ran around in a
Oh, that was when I was
young.
yeah, I was probably a few years old, and one of the memories I have is being chased by a dog around the town plaza wearing girls' clothes. I didn't get bit, but the dog got part of my dress.
Wow, you remember that.
Well, glad you didn't get bit.
And right, you know, the Second World War just got over, and I remember moving down to one of the southern provinces in the Philippines, and we had to go on a ship, and then go on a, what's it called, you know, the Army 6x6 truck, and we probably traveled for 2 days
Wow.
before we got to our first hometown. So me and my sister, you know, were in the farm, and we used to go along rice paddies. I remember getting some bread from the Chinese place, and we were only about, I think I was about 3 or 4 years old,
Oh my gosh.
and my sister was probably 7, 8 years old.
Wow.
So,
So,
and I was a gangster when I was a teenager.
what did you do?
I joined the gang, and so my dad got me arrested, and I was deported to one of the private schools
Hmm.
in just right under the it's called the Mayon volcano. Well, when we were growing up, we thought it was the most perfect volcano. There's a perfect cone, but actually it's not, you know, It just looked, but I remember every morning I brushed in front of the volcano. So,
Mm.
Oh.
but,
You still see it on TV a lot
Oh,
when
yeah.
they show it, yeah.
But I lived in a dorm down there. It's like a barracks, and I spent 2 years until I graduated from high school, almost, because I was having problems in school, and my mom had to talk to the principal to let me graduate. So I was able to graduate.
The fact that you were in a gang and almost didn't graduate high
Oh
school
yeah, 'cause,
and then went on to become a doctor is like
uh,
so impressive.
yeah, 'cause, no, yeah, 'cause I was only about 13, 14 years old when I was a little gangster. Used to drink a lot and go home. Used to climb up the windows to get inside the house. So, but yeah.
Nice.
What an interesting life, huh?
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
So wait, where were you born in?
I was born in
Diet.
company town that I've never been into. I've been trying to get down there, but it was I think it was a lumber town, and my dad was a dentist in there. So that's where my brother died, and he's buried in there. With pictures of his cemetery, but I've never been down there, and I've seen his pictures, but I don't think we really ever saw each other.
But now you have a grandson with that name.
Yeah.
That's true.
So then mostly you grew up where, in Davao, or where was it?
Well, I grew up mainly in what's called Bicol, right? That's what I said when we had to go by ship and by truck and go to the place in a called Diet
Diet.
in one of the Bicol regions. So that's where most of us grew up, actually. Most of my sisters and brothers grew up there.
But then the family's known in a place called Imus Cavite.
That's our ancestral hometown.
Mm.
So, and
Such a big family.
yeah, my great grandfather almost became president of the Philippines
That's crazy.
during the Revolutionary War while he was fighting against the United States.
Was that Lucerio Tapachio?
Yeah, Licerio Tapacio, so they called him Captain Serio.
Wow.
So he has a
He has a book.
statue in the town
Town
plaza,
square,
and
yeah. We have
he was
family
my
members with statues.
grandmother's father from my father's side. So.
Alyssa, can you make sure it's still recording?
Alyssa just found on her phone.
Yes,
There's a general. What did it say?
General Lucerio Tapachio National High School.
High
in
school
Wow.
named after him.
Wow,
found
there's
that.
a high school.
A high school named after him there now.
Oh, there's a high school.
Show that.
Wow.
Mhm.
Nice.
What's the next question? What is your opinion on love and romance in your young adult life compared to your older adult life? Yeah, so what is your guys' opinion on love and romance in your young adult life compared to older life?
I think as a young teenager, or even as an older teenager, love was something that everybody wanted to be in love, but what really was it? And was it infatuation?
Yeah.
Was it feelings of I can't live without this person
Mhm.
type thing? Yeah, I remember, I guess it was my first real boyfriend, and he was from the same area that I talked about earlier, where there was an alley in between us,
Mhm.
and his father worked for the Coca-Cola company.
Wow. That's
And his father's name was Don, and the boyfriend's name was Don. I called him Donnie, and my father's name was Don.
That's funny.
So, but we had a good time. We have this, when we were dating, we went up with my girlfriend, who in my play wedding was my maid of honor type thing, and she was dating one of his friends at the time. So we have this place not too far from Baltimore. It's called Ellicott City, and there's a graveyard there. So we'd kind of go up, especially around Halloween, and it was supposedly very haunted.
Oh,
And we'd go up at night with flashlights.
that's scary.
I never saw anybody, but it was scary, and it was kind of like, okay, we're going to be really brave this time, and if you hear anything, just scream, okay? You know. So we were in two parts of the graveyard, but we never saw anything. But
That's good.
it was just fun, you know, a fun time of doing something crazy.
Mhm.
And yeah, let's see. So then, when I got to high school, it was much more serious, and I went with this guy that was 2 years older than myself, and we did a play, an operetta called The Mikado by Gilbert and Sullivan, and it was all high school students. We were all music inclined, and sang, and so we got together, and it was student produced, and another guy named Phil did the piano playing for all of the rehearsals, and we had different people. A lot of them were from our high school, but then we had some that the director was from a school in the city of Baltimore, and we just had such a great time, and it was a great production of one of the parents made all our costumes, so they were all the kimonos, and yeah, Jim, who was my boyfriend, 2 years older, like I said, he was Pooh Bah, and that was the lead role for the Mikado for the male roles. And I was one of the three little maids from school, so we had a trio of a lot of our songs and everything. It was fun. But then after, we were even asked to go by the governor on to tour Maryland.
Wow.
Yeah, it was quite an honor back then. And so, yeah, too bad I don't have a movie camera, because my dad had it all
Wow.
on a movie camera. But, a projector, I should say. But anyway, it was a lot of fun, and quite a memory. We all became very, very close. And so Jim went on to audition for the Metropolitan Opera, and he's been in there probably over 60 years.
Wow.
Yeah, beautiful voice. What would you say, at least 6'4", 6'3", something like that. Beautiful bass voice. And I went with him to his audition. There was a famous opera singer that was a soprano named Rosa Poncel, and she was from Baltimore. So when he auditioned for the Met, he said, "Come on, go with me." So I did. And it was amazing. It was, yeah, it's something I'll never forget.
Yeah.
So, you know, later on in life, I met the love of my life from the other side of the world. And I was working, I was in college, and my first year I went to Peabody Conservatory just because I thought, you know, Jim had done a lot of the solos in high school, and then when he left, I started doing them, and qualified. I tried out and got in the Maryland All-State Chorus, and then the All-Eastern Chorus, and we sang in Boston for that, and just a lot of fun. Yeah, so as a matter of fact, when I had to go to Boston for the weekend to sing, my parents had a good family friend, and their daughter was getting married that weekend, and they insisted that I be in the wedding. She'd asked me to be a bridesmaid. So here it was the same time I was supposed to be. So my dad was a chemical engineer, and bless his heart, he rented the company plane and flew me to Boston
That's crazy.
just so I could get there in time for the rehearsals for the All-Eastern Chorus. So that was, yeah, I got off the plane and had welts from nerves, because it was just a 3-seater plane or 4-seater plane. And yeah, you could see everything, and it was more than I wanted to see. So, but it was a lot of fun. And so anyway, then, yeah, after Peabody, my mother said to me, okay, Donna, if you want to have shoes and a purse to match your clothes, you have to get a job. So there was a new hospital opening up in Towson. And so I'd go to class until 3:30, 3:45, and come home. And Mom would have dinner on the table. And then I'd go to work at this hospital. I had an interview for it. That was good. My mom says, wear white gloves and high heels because the nuns like that. But there were 30-something people that tried out for just switchboard
Wow.
information, and I got the job. So that was exciting. And then, so yeah, Alex came from the Philippines, and that was the year I graduated from high school in '67, and he graduated from medical school. And he was supposed to be there July 1st, but he came late because he had sisters in the States. And he walked in the door, and I was sitting at the information desk and learning how to do this. Back then it was a switchboard. And so I was learning how to do that. And he walked in the front door, and he had the most beautiful smile and beautiful teeth. And I just thought, wow, that's the guy I'm going to marry.
Wow, you just know.
And little did you know. So yeah, it was almost like, around the world that I found him, or he found me. And so it worked out for a long time. We're still here.
If you haven't, do you have anything else to say about anything?
About what?
Like just love
Young love. And
and yeah.
talk about the one you engaged.
No, it was.
You asked her to marry you.
You know, all my sisters were honor students, and I hardly graduated high school. But I was a gangbanger most of the time. We drank a lot and we moved around.
But you
I
got
didn't really have much socializing with women. My sisters were very popular, because they're considered pretty and sociable, but I never made it to any of the sociable things. I never learned how to dance, and I really never went to parties. Anyway, I just hang out with guys, and I had bad parts of my life, and at one time I ran away from home, and my mom had to look for me in one of the big cities in crime-infested areas, and anyway, she found me,
swimming.
and this time we moved to another place in the Philippines, way back in one of the southern islands, and that's when I started to become a little serious. But despite all this, I was able to get admitted to the best university in the Philippines. So,
That's impressive.
Medical school.
but I didn't get serious until probably I was 16, 17 years old.
Yeah.
When I got sick and I had to stop schooling for about 2 years, and then I decided I was going to be serious about school, and so I did well. I was top of my class for
Wow.
Class president.
a while, and I became president of my college, class. So, but I was really not into politics that much, but I just getting elected to those things.
Wow.
So, and at one time I was serious, and just before I came to the U.S., there was a lot of protests in the Philippines, and I was one of the blacklisted students there, and I was not allowed to have a passport,
Mm.
and I almost went to Red China, but luckily I didn't get there, and by some odd twist, I was able to get a passport, and that's when I came to Baltimore and met your grandma.
Wow.
But she was, just got stuck, you know. I bought a car and she used it. It was a white Camaro.
White and black.
White and black. So, but yeah, we've been together since
1967.
1967. We went to Michigan and
Came to Canton and we had our first.
yeah,
Your mom.
and we got your mom.
So was Towson your residency and Michigan your fellowship or no?
No, it was a residency.
Internship.
I had an internship in Baltimore.
Oh, okay.
And then you did
And
GP.
then I did
a GP in Flint.
general practice residency in Flint.
And then you
And
switched.
then I went to 1 year of radiology. And that's when your mom was born. No, she was not born.
No.
She conceived. And then we moved here to Canton in 1970. And that's when your mom was born, right after we moved here.
Wow.
First week.
So then was that residency at all?
Yeah.
For how many years was that?
Radiology residency.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
And you were at Altman for how many years?
45 years or something like that.
That's wow. Good for you. Is it still filming? I should make sure.
Yes.
Okay. Ready? Yes.
I talk too much.
It's okay. What
Okay,
achievement-
now your mom will take over because nothing more happened to me. So.
Well, you had a son and then you had,
It's
I had
Another
a
daughter.
son and a daughter.
and now we have
9
Nine.
grandchildren.
9 grandchildren.
Wow. What achievement are you most proud of? So what achievement are you guys most proud of?
Having you guys, I guess. That's our legacy, you know.
Yeah, that's so sweet.
Yeah, being a mom and a grandma.
Hmm.
And I think going back to school
Yeah.
and because I only had an associate degree
Hmm.
before we got married, and then yeah, I went back to school when my kids were older and went to Walsh College and
Yeah, that's so impressive.
got my teaching degree. I volunteered for 30 years in Plain Local, and when my kids were growing up and then my grandkids, and I thought, you know, I can do this
Hmm.
and get paid and get my own parking space. So anyway, yeah, I think that has to go
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
my
That's
proudest
impressive.
moments. Yeah.
Next question. Is there anything you would have done differently in your life? Is there anything you guys would have done differently in your life?
Well, me, I don't know. It's looks. I'm pretty content with my life. You know,
Good.
I loved my work, and it was very satisfying to me. I know it was hard for you, Grandma, but I spent most of my time at work. So, but I enjoyed it. And,
That's good.
Nothing to really regret about things.
Good. Anything for you?
Well, it wouldn't have been something that I would have done differently, but I wish my mom and dad could have been closer because
Yeah.
you know they were 6.5 hours away in Maryland. But we got together on holidays and important occasions, and so, and I met my in-laws. That was nice when they came here, and a lot of my sister-in-laws. And when your mom got married, we had the wedding that we didn't have, but she let me help organize it, and it was a big accomplishment, I think, for our family and all of the family that came from the Philippines for her, and
Yeah.
so really nothing different. Just we have wonderful grandchildren, wonderful people that are in our lives, and I found my birth mother since I was adopted, so that was something that was important to my mom. She wanted me to do that, and so I found her, and that was a nice relationship. And there were a lot of surprises in that finding. So I have my daughter named Lisa, and I have a sister named Lisa that we
Wow.
never knew at the time.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I have a wonderful brother who's now sick with cancer, but he's such a great brother. And my own brother that I grew up with is in West Virginia, so it would have been nice if we could have all been closer, but that would be the only thing.
Yeah.
So. And smart granddaughters.
Your mom's parents were really almost part of our family.
Aw.
So your mom and her brother and sisters had a lot of good times with them.
Aw.
We used to visit them a lot, and they did a lot for your mom and her siblings. But yeah, we had a great time with them. They were good grandparents, not as good as us. No, they were a lot better. They were really great. So I'm sure your mom and her siblings are, remember a lot about their grandparents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the last question. Do you have any advice on how to live a fulfilling life? So do you guys have any advice on how to live a fulfilling life?
Be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take care of each other.
That's good.
Yeah, it's hard to give advice on living. It's well, I just want all of you to have a sort of fulfilling life. Be content with what you're doing and what you're accomplishing, and don't despair.
Be kind.
Things will pass, and
Be kind and loving the way you are.
yeah.
To each other.
Okay. Yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for
You're
being great
welcome.
grandparents and helping me out with this interview.
It was fun.
I love you guys.
I love you too.
All I remember is me dancing with you all night when you were a baby.
Aw.
And singing your favorite song was Mandy Patinkin's Red Hair Girl, something like that. Yeah, you used to be fussy, but you liked them. I used to carry you around. And you liked my singing.
Aw.
Cute.
Yeah. I wish I could remember that.
I'm glad you don't remember. I didn't do as much with Elisa, but with you, we did.
Aw.
I think there's a picture when you were holding Alyssa at Mom's 70th birthday party.
Oh, yeah.
When she was a baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, thank you guys